seekers of North America and beyond. I have to come up with a new tagline now that I can't say quilt people. If you've been following me from Quilting Cowboy over to here, my new channel, I will be honest. The entire purpose of today's video is for me to kind of help myself identify the direction of this channel, right? Going from being the Quilting Cowboy now to doing this, it's like, okay, well, if I'm not teaching quilting, which, you know, hello, you know, what am I doing? So, I've been thinking about this a lot. And so yesterday's post on World AIDS Day, you know, was hopefully a little bit of a glimpse, even if it is, you know, sad just because of the subject matter. You know, it did kind of spark an idea in me in that, you know, I really am chasing this dream actively of being a writer, of being a published writer, of being able to write novels, because I found that, oh my gosh, once I started the process, like, I never fully understood how much I live in my right brain. What does that mean? So, we basically have two hemispheres of our brain, as we know. The right, which is in charge of things like us understanding a symphony and music and dreams and things that tend to be a little bit more off-grid, right? And then you have the left side, which is where most people in our world live, because it's in charge of structure, organization, you know, charts, understanding what is a chair, like things that are tangible, right? And need critical thought, right? And need to comprehend something as, you know, challenging as a difficult schedule amongst a bunch of people. That's all very left brain stuff, right? I don't live there. Welcome to my world. But that's the fun of it, right? Because I always kind of live in this place of dreams, right? That's just where my brain lives. And I'm so fortunate to have been able to get to this age in my 50s where I understand what that means, right? So it was always super confusing to me growing up because I just didn't relate to my fellow humans as they were functioning from their left brain when I functioned from my right? And so right is all creativity, all this kind of, you know, stuff that I do that just feels normal to me, right? Like that's just my brain. And you know, it's very challenging at times, but I've really started to lean into the beauty that is found there. And writing these books, I have to say, is just transformative. When I sat down and started writing these books, like, I got through, like, my first 2 chapters, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on here? Like, how is it that I know how to do this? I don't have much of a formal education. I got a GED from the University of Winnipeg. I didn't even go to high school, you know, and that was in 1988. So, you know, I don't have much of a formal education. I did go back in 2009 and get a 2-year degree in graphic design in order to help with my quilting and stuff. But, like, that's it. We didn't do much in terms of English and things like that in my graphic design school. So, you know, I'm really winging it here, but that's the story of my life. Because, oh, this is the best part. Because starting, right? Starting is the hardest part. Thus, the point of this video today, I am starting. I am starting to be in service to my dreams, and I will be here every day working on it and bringing everyone along who is at all interested in the journey, because this is how we manifest things. And this is a really big part of why I wrote the books and the subject matter in the books. Woohoo, right? Like, how do we manifest our dreams? We're going to be doing it right here, and this is going to be kind of my master class in seeing if I'm, quite frankly, full of crap. Right? Like, let's test it out. Do I actually know how to manifest things in the way that I believe that I do? Because I do. I mean, you look at my life, anything I have set my mind to, I have been able to accomplish. I absolutely believe that about myself. Now, that's a double-edged sword because, it can get very, get on board or get out of my way kind of energy, which is, not always probably the most helpful, but it gets stuff done, right? And so that's what I'm doing here. And that's what I'm going to be focusing my videos on between now and when I accomplish my dream, because I promise you I will accomplish it. I promise you that I will publish those books. I promise you that they will be very successful. I know that about myself. And so after I sat down and I wrote those first 2 chapters and I stood up and I went, how is it that I know how to do this? I don't even understand, because it feels to me like I'm in flow. What is in flow? Do you understand what it is when you are in that area of the brain, when you are in flow? Because I've discovered that when I started writing. And I'm like, okay, wow, didn't know I could do this. Never thought of myself as a writer. That's not entirely true. I always enjoyed writing, right? And I always kind of had in the back of my brain, maybe I have a book in me, I don't know, but the blessings of COVID, and again, anything can be a blessing. It all depends on how it's framed in your mind, right? So the blessings of COVID is that it gave me the time to be at home and just go, what the hell? I have nothing to lose, right? And so I just started getting these ideas of what I wanted to do, and manifesting kept coming up as a big topic. Now, my books are fiction. It is an amazing fictional tale, but it is based loosely on my life. Write what you know. And so this is the thing though, and this is what I really want kind of the mission of my books to be. Yeah, we're going to go through manifesting and we're going to go through a lot of other things in how to improve your life, right? With mindset and things like this. But ultimately what I discovered through this process, it blew my mind that I could take my trauma, obviously, check out my last couple of videos. Hello? Trauma? Yeah, hi. It's me, Dale, again. We have a few things to talk about. Right? So I had all this pent-up energy and trauma, which would try and resurface as drama, right? And I just got to the point in my life where I'm tired of it. I knew that if I could find a purpose for why those challenges were brought into my life, then that would be a game changer. And it has been. It has been. I value all of the traumatic experiences that I've had in my life so much that I would never trade them for anything. If I could go back and redo it any different way, I absolutely would not. Why? I absolutely would not, because having had those experiences, those horrifically traumatic experiences, that gave me insight into how to write about it and to be able to describe things like rape from a first person's perspective. And as a writer, being able to describe how that feels, where your mind goes, what happens, what you do with that, what you do with that immediately afterwards, how that colors your life, how that colors your feelings moving forward, how that colors your interpersonal relationships with others, your basic sense of trust and safety in the world. Being able to write about those things as a writer with clarity and real gravitas, the kind that you feel from your guts, being able to write about those things from the first person's perspective and bring life to my books in that manner is everything. I'm so grateful for all of those experiences, because they brought to me experience that I can put into my literature that I can share with others. Because I discovered that they serve a purpose in my life. That changed everything. They serve a purpose. That trauma, being raped in Montreal when I was a teenager, that lent me information and gave me insight into a world that I'm now able to wrap my arms around more people, right? That it should serve a purpose of understanding and clarity, and that I can write about those things, because I promise you, when you read that part of my book, you will probably want to throw up. Because I put it all in there. I put it all in there because I could. Because that was the gift that life brought me. We can heal ourselves. We underestimate our own ability to have an impact on our own lives. And when I sat down and started writing those books, oh man, it was like uncapping a fountain. I didn't even know the experience that I was heading into. I really didn't. But there's a voice in my head, like, yeah, we know you're a fucking crazy bitch. Yes, I understand that I am like very damaged. But again, like, thank God for that. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. I am so fortunate, not for what happened to me, but for having gotten to this place in my life and being able to see and recognize and value those things in my life. Again, I can't express enough to you how much value that trauma has brought to my life in being able to like put this into the book in such a way that you can't help but experience what that's like. Because what that's like, knowing what that's like, sharing what that's like, that changes the world. That kind of insight, right? Because that's what we're here doing, right? Understanding, leaning into insight and inspiration.